Welcome to Have More Babies. We're the show that takes all the information you send us, untax it, and, well, hopefully turns it into knowledge you can actually use.
Yeah, action is the goal.
Yeah.
And today, we're tackling something almost everyone experiences now and then, that really annoying, scratchy, dry eye feeling.
Right, that's stinging. And we usually blame, screens.
Yeah.
Too much computer time.
Exactly. Or maybe the air conditioning.
Yeah.
And we reach for the eye drops. But the sources we looked at suggest it might be something deeper.
Deeper, yeah. Not just environmental. Our sources are really pointing towards a nutritional issue, a specific vitamin actually acting as your eye's, secret weapon.
Fascinating stuff.
Okay, so let's unpack this properly. We're moving past the quick fixes today, looking at the root cause. The condition is formally called xerophthalmia, and the nutrient, vitamin A.
And what's really interesting, I think, is that while, yes, modern life makes dry eyes worse.
Sure, screens, air quality.
Right. But when it becomes chronic, really severe, that's xerophthalmia, the sources strongly suggest the cause is often internal. It shifts the whole conversation.
Away from just irritation towards actual systemic health, nutritional health.
Precisely.
That's a key difference. So for people listening who maybe get dry eyes after watching a movie, that's probably not xerophthalmia, right?
Yeah.
Can you define it clearly? What are we really talking about with this deficiency link?
Okay, so xerophthalmia, clinically, it just means dry eye. But it's more than simple discomfort. It describes a condition, a pathological state, where the eyes genuinely lack the moisture they need to be healthy continuously.
Okay.
And our sources are clear.
Yeah.
This happens because the body just can't make enough tears or, and this is critical, the protective mucus that lines the eye surface.
And that failure is tied directly to not having enough vitamin A.
Directly. Insufficient vitamin A stores lead right to it.
Wow. It's kind of amazing that one little nutrient is so foundational. Okay, this is where I like to geek out a bit. We know vitamin A is crucial, but why? What's it actually doing in the eye? Can you walk us through the biology?
Absolutely. So vitamin A, or retinol, it actually has two main jobs in the eye. Both are critical, but they're, well, quite distinct.
Okay, two jobs. What's the first?
First, and this is the one most people know, it's absolutely essential for the retina. Specifically, it's part of a pigment called rhodopsin.
Rhodopsin. Wow, that rings a bell. That's related to seeing in the dark, right? Night vision.
Exactly. Rhodopsin is what lets your eyes adapt and see when you go from bright light to dim light. If you don't have enough vitamin A, that rhodopsin doesn't regenerate properly.
Leading to night blindness. Okay, that makes sense. What's the second role? The one more tied to the dryness.
Right. The second role is all about the surface of the eye, the structure itself. Vitamin A is vital for keeping the epithelial cells healthy.
Epithelial cells. Those are the surface layer cells.
That's right. On your skin, inside your body, and, importantly, covering the eye. Vitamin A helps these cells differentiate, become specialized. So in the eye, it helps create the cells that produce mucus and tears in the conjunctiva, that clear lining.
Okay, so if you're low on vitamin A, those cells don't work properly.
They falter, yeah. They basically stop making the lubricants, and then something worse happens. It's called keratinization.
Keratinization, like keratin in fingernails.
Sort of, yeah. Instead of making moist, lubricating cells, the surface cells become hard, dry, and flaky. The eye surface literally starts to roughen and dry out.
Oh, wow. That sounds much worse than just not enough tears.
It is. That's what causes the serious irritation. It can lead to actual damage, like corneal lesions.
So the direct link is no vitamin A, the lubricant factory shuts down, and the surface starts to harden up.
Got it. It moves from just lacking moisture to an actual physical change in the eye's surface structure.
Okay, that's clear. Now, you mentioned night blindness often comes first. Do these things always happen together? Or can you have the night vision issue without the severe dryness?
That's a really good question. The sources suggest night blindness is usually the earliest sign. The rhodopsin system is just very sensitive to low vitamin A.
Okay.
The severe surface dryness, the xerophthalmia part, that tends to develop later. It's seen as a more advanced stage.
So catching the night blindness early could be a crucial warning sign.
Absolutely. It gives you a window, a chance to act before the really serious corneal damage starts.
Which brings us to the consequences, the so what factor. If someone ignores the signs, the night blindness, the chronic dryness, what are the long-term risks? You mentioned damage.
The risks are, frankly, quite scary. We're talking about potential permanent vision loss. The real danger is what happens to the cornea, that clear front part of the eye.
It needs to be clear and smooth to work, right? Like a camera lens.
It's exactly like a camera lens. But when that keratinization we talked about happens, The surface gets rough, cloudy, opaque. It can lead to ulcers, scarring,
Oh.
and in severe cases, the sources mention keratomalacia. That's where the cornea actually softens, almost melts.
Melts. That sounds devastating.
It is. It can lead to irreversible blindness. And this all stems from a nutrient deficiency.
So really, chronic dry eyes shouldn't just be dismissed, especially if it's severe. It could be a major red
The
flag.
critical signal, yes. Your body's telling you something important is missing, and your sight is potentially on the line. Untreated xerophthalmia is actually a leading preventable cause of blindness worldwide.
Preventable. That's the key word. Okay, let's shift to what people can do. If someone listening is thinking, maybe this is me, what's the plan? How do you find out for sure? And what's the treatment?
Right? Action steps. First things first.
Yeah.
You need a proper diagnosis. This isn't something to self-diagnose.
Okay, so see a doctor.
An eye doctor, specifically. They need to do a physical examination. They can look for those specific signs on the eye surface, the conjunctival changes we discussed.
And I guess I'd ask about symptoms like night blindness, too.
Definitely. Then the second step, usually, is a blood test.
To actually measure the vitamin A level.
Exactly. That confirms if it's truly a systemic deficiency or maybe just, environmental factors or screen time.
Okay, diagnosis clear. Then what? How do you fix it?
Treatment usually involves two things. First, for acute deficiency, a doctor might prescribe high-dose vitamin A supplements.
Why dose?
Yes, to quickly build reserves back up. But, and this is really important, vitamin A is fat-soluble. You can get too much, and it can be toxic. So supplements should only be taken under a doctor's supervision. Seriously.
Got it. Safety first. Don't just grab a bottle off the shelf. What's the second part of the treatment, the long-term plan?
The long-term plan and the best prevention strategy, really, is diet. Revamping what you eat.
Food as medicine, essentially.
Pretty much. Prevention is definitely the most delicious cure here.
All right, let's give people some concrete examples. What foods should be on the shopping list for good vitamin A levels? Are there different kinds?
Yeah, there are two main types to look for. There's preformed vitamin A called retinol, which you get mostly from animal sources.
Right.
Things like fish, especially oily fish, liver, dairy products, eggs.
Okay. And the other type?
That's pro-vitamin A carotenoids, like beta-carotene. Your body converts these into vitamin A. These are mostly from plants.
Ah, the colorful ones, right.
Exactly. Think bright orange and dark green. Carrots, sweet potatoes, they're superstars.
Huh.
Also, dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, huge sources.
Mangoes, too, I think I read?
Yes, ripe mangoes are great. And one tip since vitamin A is fat-soluble.
Right, you mentioned that. Need some fat to absorb it.
Precisely. So eating those carrots raw is good, but eating them with a little olive oil or maybe some avocado helps your body actually absorb that beta-carotene much better.
Good practical tip. So, pair the veggies with healthy fats. Oh, okay, so the big picture here is a balanced diet rich in these foods is the best way to prevent this whole cascade of problems.
Absolutely. Consistent dietary choices.
Mm-hmm.
It's about making sure your body always has what it needs to protect your eyes. Your grocery list can literally impact your long-term vision.
That really brings it home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so to sum up the core idea, if you have chronic, really bothersome dry eyes, don't just ignore it. It could be a sign you need more vitamin A, and ignoring it could, well, have serious consequences down the road.
Mm-hmm. It's a signal.
And thinking about preventative health, especially for families,
Yeah,
knowing this link between diet and eye health seems incredibly important.
it really is. And that's why you see nutrition, particularly adequate vitamin A, emphasized so much in, say, pediatric care. It's fundamental for preventing these issues right from the start. It matters at every age.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for everyone listening. If missing just one nutrient can pose such a threat to something as vital as our sight, what other small dietary gaps might be affecting your health or your family's health in ways you haven't even considered?
Makes you think, doesn't it? About nutritional awareness being that first line of defense.
It really does. Now, if you want to dive deeper into eye health, nutrition, preventative care, especially resources maybe geared towards family and children's health, we strongly recommend checking out a specific resource.
Yes, definitely.
Please visit omegapediatrics.com. They have a wealth of information.
That's omegapediatrics.com. You'll find resources on everything from managing illnesses to building those healthy eating habits we've been talking about, the kind that can prevent issues like xerophthalmia. Really valuable stuff there.
Absolutely. And while you're online, please do us a favor, like this video if you found it helpful.
Yeah, it helps others find it.
Subscribe to the channel too, so you don't miss our future deep dives on health topics.
And share this. If you know someone who's always complaining about dry, stinging eyes, maybe send this their way. It could be that aha moment they need.
Couldn't agree more. Knowledge is power, right?
The best prescription.
All right, that's all for this time on Have More Babies.
We'll see you next time.